Ah. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Big and Stupid Game Reviews. I'm Stupid J.
Big Mike. Today we're going to be reviewing Catherine.
We sure are. Well, let's start about what we like. And first and foremost, I think the number one thing I'm going to say I like is the presentation. Just love the look of the game, love the feel of the game. Graphically, it's not the most smooth looking game, but the way that it's done, it still really captures your eye, and it's some really great eye candy.
Looks like Afro Samurai, which is another one of the best looking games on this generation of consoles, I think. I like that cell shaded looking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much that I didn't like about this game. I didn't think I would like it because it's anime, not usually what I'm into, but the storyline grabbed me. It was different. The puzzles were difficult, but you know, there's always different ways. There's not many games that I replay after I beat it the first time, but this one, since everything can be done different ways every time, I can definitely see myself, well, I've already played through it 2.5 times, I can definitely see myself playing to get to all 8 endings.
Well, the beauty of this in the puzzle genre is, and don't be fooled, this is a puzzle game. This is not action, this is not adventure, this is not RPG. It's basically the talking elements of Fallout, just not as in-depth with puzzle. That's it, and it's straight up pulling cubes and moving cubes with a special ability here and there. But the beauty of it in this puzzle genre is it's not meant to be played a specific way. You're not going to, you have to pull this cube, push that one, that's the only way you're going to beat this level. It's basically use your own brain meats and figure it out yourself, and that's definitely one of the highlights of it. And another thing that I do like about the game is the controls are spot on. Much better for PS3 as compared to the Xbox. I'm not a PS3 owner. Mike has played it at his place, and with the D-pad for the PS3, which is better for up, down, left, and right, as compared to Xbox, which is better for sweeping maneuvers, you'll have an easier time with this for PS3, which I guess we could both recommend. If this is the game for you, PS3 is the way to go if you have the choice.
The game was developed for the PS3, so it's going to play better on the PS3.
Not to say I had real huge issues with it, but there were definitely times where I want to go over one movement and I end up going 2, or I end up going up instead of left or right.
The controls you have to get used to. Don't be fooled though. On the easiest setting, this game is harder than most games are on the hardest setting. This is a hard game. You will die hundreds and hundreds of times. For me personally, it never got frustrating though. It always was, you know, when you die, you learned something, and then you could use it to get past that part. And it's not for everyone because it is brutally hard and unforgiving. It doesn't hold your hand. The difficulty curve's a little bit weird because it sort of goes up until you hit the 5th stage, and then for me at least, it sort of went back down, which is not a bad thing. But when you beat the 5th level boss and you go, holy crap, I can't believe it's going to get harder after this, and then it never does. It actually gets easier. It was a bit of a letdown, but there's not, like I said, there's not much that I didn't enjoy about it. I think pretty much because it's so different. There's nothing else like this. I mean, it's a puzzle game, so it's not, you know, but it's not just some shooter.
Yeah. Well, the difficulty pissed me off beyond belief. I got through 2 fucking levels, no sweat. Then it went from hey, this is pretty easy and fun, to this is hard as balls. And it really, really frustrated me. I didn't learn anything from it because I was so goddamn irate. I'm just like, all I do is keep dying, throw the controller, done with the fucking game, and fuck that difficulty curve. I thought it was fucking ridiculous. I know it's a real Japanese game, and they like their games a lot harder than they do. They're more hardcore than us too. I mean, they still have arcades, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
They love their video games more than we probably ever will.
Yeah.
They want the challenge. To me, though, there's a difference between challenging and frustrating. You thought it was challenging. I thought it was fucking infuriating. But again, it also doesn't leave much for me to want to keep playing when all it is climbing blocks, moving blocks, and then talking. And the talking would be fine if I didn't hate that and hate the main characters as well. But I think we'll get into that now while we're at it as well.
The main characters, again, I'm not an anime fan, so as far as the characters go, I don't have any archetypes of what, the main character is supposed to be, what the supporting characters are supposed to be.
Well, then, based on video games.
Because
this is a video game.
The antagonist, Vincent, is
a douchebag.
A douchebag.
Complete douchebag.
Yeah, but, he's sort of an everyman hipster guy who has sort of problems that people can have, in real life. He's in this relationship. This cute girl hits on him, so really, it's something that happens.
He's the kind of guy, if you go to the bar, which most of the game takes place in one, you want to punch in the face.
Yeah.
I really hate Vincent with a passion.
Yeah.
The horrible character, he's a fucking douchebag. He's just completely unlikable. And it hurts for me to want to continue playing the game when I don't even like him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm a character I hate being. Why do I want to keep pressing on?
Well,
at least when I play characters with no personalities, for example, Halo, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But with this, it's just like, I really dislike him, so it makes me want to put down the controller even faster.
Well, I didn't really care for his character. I didn't hate him. His friends are all annoying. Pretty much everyone he meets, pretty much every character in the game is annoying, but
if you watch anime, you'll understand the characters more, because it's a standard. I watch a lot of anime, so it's a very standard clique of friends. You have the mysterious, guy who smokes, and he's got the deep voice, and then you have your wacky crazy guy who always has his loud pitched voice, and everything is fun and wacky. And then you have your other dude who kind of like supports you, it's kind of, and of course everyone swears a lot because that's cool to do.
Yes.
Fuckity ass balls titties.
Yeah. Well, the only character that I found outright annoying was Catherine, the younger,
The blonde.
The blonde. She just had that voice that I hate in anime.
You know what? I actually liked his girlfriend Catherine with the glasses.
Yes.
And I think that's another reason what made me hate Vincent more.
Yes.
Because I'm like, oh, she's a great character, and he's a complete dick.
And just like within any of the moral choice games, it's written, the cutscenes are written a certain way, so the way you choose stuff doesn't really play out until the end of the game. So but the puzzles were so, it was like Portal for me, where, you can be frustrated, but then as soon as you figure it out, yes, I'm a fucking genius when you finally get to the end. And that's enough payoff for me personally.
Well, then one more thing I want to hit then is, when it comes to the conversations, if you are into that as well, like Fallout style, is I like the fact that you can choose how you want to go about it. For example, in the confession booth, so you can pick a path of right and wrong, which apparently, when you do want to pick a certain path of playing good or evil, and there's even littler choices in between because it's not as cut and dry, but between good and evil, if you are trying to choose one way, it still throws a monkey wrench in there, and when you think you're doing one specific path,
Yeah.
it totally fucks you up. Another thing, infuriating. Fuck that. But another thing, though, too, is when you're doing your text messages, you can choose what you want to type. It's pre-registered, but, you know, it's a certain way. Some are cut and dry, like, this is the good thing, and this is the bad thing. And same with your speech choices. But even, it goes back to Alpha Protocol, if you ever played that even if you want to be good, for example, you still come out sounding like a fucking douchebag. Like, you still can't be like, oh, well, I want to say I'm sorry to Catherine. But you still kind of like, sorry, Catherine, but if you weren't a tard, you know, I wouldn't have to apologize. Like, you still come out as a dick in every way.
The choices are ambiguous. It's not always, you know, if you're playing it good. Like, one of the questions I got was, are you a cat person or a dog person? And it's like, oh, I'm playing it, you know, I like cats, so, oh, cats. Oh, it puts me down, so that's not what I was going for. So sometimes it's a little weird, but again, not enough. Because the core gameplay of the game is the puzzles. And the puzzles were challenging and interesting enough for me to keep going. It didn't really matter what the story was. The gameplay was what kept me going.
In today's day and age, I need a story to keep me going. It's not the old school Nintendo days where that was the limit. That was the limit is, okay, you gotta solve this puzzle and move to here. Why? Because there's a princess to save. That's the whole story. Because you were very, you know, it was more linear. But now with more options, I need more to hold my attention. I need it. I need it, and I want it, and I expect more, and for what games are capable of.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to be pushing blocks for the next 10 hours, I better have a motherfucking reason, and not to collect fucking pillows.
Pillows are continues.
I don't care. I don't care. I hate it. I hate the game.
So at the end, would you pay $60 for it?
I wouldn't pay $60. But I'm not going to tell everyone out there to not get the game, just because I, on a personal level, just totally dislike the game. Again, the controls, gameplay-wise, are good, and I can't argue that. Just like I can't argue that if you do like puzzle games, and if you do want a puzzle game that's going to be different, then this could be a good game for you. But I wouldn't rush out and pay the $60 because, again, the difficulty in it, the difficulty curve, and you might hate the characters. I mean, and again, that can take away from a lot of the fun. I would say buy it used if this is your thing. If you agree with me on a lot of things with these reviews, then don't play it or wait for a friend to get it and borrow it.
Atlas games are known for being difficult, and also known for not selling that well. So it will go down in price. Personally, I shelled out the extra for the collector's edition, and I don't have any problem with that. And I'm a cheapskate, so I do usually have a problem buying games new. But in this case, like I said, I already went through the game 2.5 times, and I plan on playing it more than that. It's different every time that you unlock extra levels and stuff. So, if you buy it for $60 new, you're going to definitely get your money's worth out of it if it's the sort of game you like. But if you don't like your games to be difficult, leave it alone. Because even, like I said, on the easiest difficulty setting, it is hard. So hard. So if you're a shooter, if you're a shooter person, if you're playing shooters, you like it, put it on easy and just blow stuff up.
Yeah.
Stick to shooters. But if you like difficulty and something different.
And if you're the RPG guy and you want an immersive story and you want to, you want to choose good sides, evil sides, you want different, choices in your dialogue, there's better games. Much better games in this choice. And I wouldn't, I did that with Alpha Protocol. I'm like, I needed something different. I liked that whole thing, and then all it did was piss me off. This is another thing. If you think you're gonna try to get an immersive story, you're gonna enjoy the conversations, you're probably not. So, right. I don't recommend it.
I do. So there you go. There's Catherine.
Adios. Whew.